you ready? Tell me you're ready.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. This episode number 18. And of course, I'm your host, David Burrows. Thank you so much for watching the show. And once again, I say it every week. Please remember to subscribe. A little button down there. Click on that. Get subscribed to the channel so when I upload new videos, you get notified right away. And of course, please just take the time to share with 5 of your friends so we can get the show bigger and better for you. All right, lots of things happening here as we try to give you every week some exciting things happening, not just around town, but coming up later on in the show. I promised you last week it's going to happen. It has happened. We're putting it here on the show today. An exclusive interview. Brian Vollmer, lead singer of HELIX. We were in the home of Brian Vollmer and did a great interview and got some great shots of inside the house, kind of a mini crib, if you will. And, well, that's coming up later on the show. Very excited about that. We're also going to be talking about St. Paddys Day, of course. Lots of things going to be happening around Sarnia, and we're going to talk about just some of them. Can't get them all in there, but we're going to be doing some more of that. And we've got some other special things coming up as well. So make sure you watch the whole show. Some ticket giveaways going to be happening later on in the show as well. All right, very excited, but let's move on to, it seems to be, as always, the most popular part. Everybody is David. What is the YouTube video of the week? Well, all I'm going to tell you about this one is it's a little animated cartoon. It's very short and quick, so turn up the dial and check out Rock Bottom from YouTube. Here's your YouTube video of the week. Check it out.
It's the YouTube video of the week.
Tom and Ed used to live in a house on a cliff till they sank to the bottom of the ocean. First they saw a shark, then they saw a whale, then they saw a salmon punch a bear. Even deeper than Atlantis, even deeper than Titanic, even deeper than the ocean starts to squid.
What is life?
That's the catfish smells the halfish was deciding in a dress, then they landed at the bottom of the sea.
Hey Tom, I got my grades back today.
What are you talking about?
They're below sea level.
You have to help me bolt up these windows, we're gonna die!
That teacher sure harbors a grudge.
Why are you just making puns?
She's a real beach. Well, I'm off for my date with Stacy. See ya.
No, wait, don't open the door!
It's a damn shame, Frank.
Hey, Chief, look at this duck.
That's hilarious.
Down at the bottom of the sea. You see what I mean? Okay, you get the picture there. I won't even go where I could go with all of that. There's your YouTube video of the week, Rock Bottom. Check out more there online. Now remember, I've been asking you to send me some YouTube videos, and I get lots, but they've got to be more original content. So what I'm asking you to do is get your iPhones and your Android phones and your cameras. Why don't you make me a little video? No more than 3 minutes long. And if we pick your YouTube video that you've created yourself to be here on the show, we're going to have some great prizes to give to you here on the show. You can send me your links to your suggested YouTube video of the week or your own original. I prefer that, but I'll take whatever I can get. Send it to info@davidburrows.ws right here on the show. And once again, when we pick your YouTube video, we're going to have some prizes to give away for you. All right, of course, lots happening, and we will have this exclusive interview with Brian Vollmer coming up later on the show, but many things happening around Sarnia for St. Patrick's Day. Seems to be everybody's Irish for one day. Now, we can't get it all on here, but of course, want to remind you once again to find out everything that's happening that maybe I don't get to talk about here in the show, visit my friend at her website, Michelle, down at www.sarniarocks.com. Sarniarocks.com, once again, being around for many years, keeping us informed very quickly. Just click on that, sarniarocks.com, and Michelle's put together a great website there that'll tell you everything that's happening, not just on the weekend and not just with local bands and bars, but everything else that's happening around the Sarnia area. You can find out at sarniarocks.com. And thank you, Michelle, once again for allowing us to put that here on the show. Also, one click to find David Burrows here on the show and to keep informed with local news here in Sarnia. LambtonShield.com, your online newspaper magazine for Sarnia, talking about all the news that affects Sarnia outside and really right what's around us here. Check it out, LambtonShield.com, and you can go there if you're not already doing that. Go to LambtonShield.com. Every Wednesday when the show comes out, one click, LambtonShield.com, you get all the news, and another click right to the show. Now, if you want another way to find me, lots of ways to communicate, right? Go to, please visit www.davidburrows.ws WS, and it is an extension. WS stands for website, okay? I keep telling everybody that. They don't believe me. DavidBurrows.ws. You can find out more of some of my music that I've recorded on there, as well as some events that I'm going to be participating in, and well, you get the idea. It's a website. So visit me online at www.davidburrows.ws. All right, first off, let's talk about Puck Around. Yes, Puck Around. Let's go out and puck around a little bit. Down there at Puck Around for St. Paddy's Day, something a little bit different. Hip hoppers. You are going to love this. Taylor Cassidy and many others, local hip-hop artists, going to be down at Puck Around for St. Paddy's Day. Now, the show all starts down there at 9 o'clock, but they're going to have some festivities going on during the day with the green liquids and everything else. But if you're a big hip-hop fan, did I say that right? Say it 5 times fast. You know the deal. Hip-hop fans, get down to Puck Around and check it out. Going to be 6, 7 different hip-hop groups down there. They got some great prize giveaways that are going to be happening as well. All right, now for a little different bit of a genre, like me, I will be down at the Stubborn Mule with the show camera and celebrating for an 80s bash party. Yes, so if you're old like me, you don't have to be old like me. Anyway, you get the picture. It's an 80s bash. Head down to the Stubborn Mule for a tribute to Guns N' Roses. Going to be down there. The band's called Dust and Bones, and they are going to be incredible, phenomenal. I just know it. 80s bash happening down at the Stubborn Mule. Tribute to Guns N' Roses, once again by Dust and Bones. We'll be down there with the show camera, so keep an eye out for that. All right, also coming up at the Lazy Duck, they're going to be having a special St. Paddy's Day bash with special DJs and everything going to be happening down there, and just a whole lot of fun. So if you're of the younger genre, we're covering it all here, head down to the Lazy Duck. Also, very excited about this. The Union Station Bar and Grill having the Rock and Country Collide Tour down there. Tickets only $5 for this event, and they are going quickly, but still time to get your tickets right down at Union Station, or you can give Glenn a call. We should have that number on the screen. Give Glenn McKinnon from Third Wave a call and get your tickets. Only $5 for 2 great bands, of course, the Rock and Country Collide Tour, and they've got some giveaways from Molson, Sharkies, and a whole bunch more. Check it out. It's going to be a great time down there. We're going to try to get down there too, but not sure if we can get everywhere. All right. So there you have it. There's a lot of what's happening. I want to mention Boomerangs as well. The Twang Bastards are going to be down at Boomerangs. Yes, that's what they're called. They're going to be down at Boomerangs, spreading around the green cheer and a whole lot of fun. They're actually playing Friday and Saturday down at Boomerangs. You can check it out. Of course, the obvious ones. Paddy Flaherty is going to be having some great Irish entertainment. Ups and Downs, of course. They'll have some great entertainment. Check them out at sarniarocks.com as well to find out just exactly who is playing down there. All right, going to take a short break, and when we come back, the interview exclusively with Brian Vollmer, lead singer of HELIX. We'll be right back.
This is Brian Vollmer of the band HELIX, and we hope to see all you people from Sarnia at the Stubborn Mule on May the 5th for Whiskey Rain and Third Wave. Be there or be square.
All right, welcome back to the show. Once again, lots of things happening around Sarnia, and I want to remind you once again, you can go to www.sarniarocks.com and visit Michelle's website down there, and she'll have a whole lot more information than what I have time to share with you here on the show. But pretty well anywhere you go, you're going to be celebrating St. Patrick's Day, whether you like it or not. That's just what's happening. All right, as mentioned earlier in the show, last week's show, we had a great interview with our new friend Marshall Dane. I want to thank Marshall Dane once again for taking time to talk to us. It was a great interview. If you haven't seen it, go and check out last week's episode. Of course, Marshall Dane going to be joining the Rock and Country Collide Tour May the 5th down at the Stubborn Mule. Going to be an incredible evening. Also, HELIX going to be joining the Rock and Country Collide Tour May the 5th. Once again, Stubborn Mule. Tickets are only $15 for this phenomenal, incredible event. $15. We will be giving away some tickets here on the show, but don't wait. I keep telling you, don't wait, and then sometimes people call me and go, how do I get tickets? And I say, well, you buy them in advance. So get down to Cheeky Monkey or Pickers Alley to pick up your tickets for this incredible show happening May 5th. Now, speaking of HELIX, we mentioned on last week's show that we would have an exclusive interview. Brian Vollmer, lead singer of HELIX. We took the time to go down to his home because he gave us the time. Very, very busy man. I want to thank Brian Vollmer for allowing us into his home to do this exclusive interview only for the show. This is the only place you're going to see this interview. We had a great time talking with Brian and got some behind-the-scenes footage of his home as well, and you're really going to enjoy this interview. Had a whole lot of fun. Okay, enough of me. Here's what you're looking for. Ladies and gentlemen, lead singer of HELIX, Brian Vollmer. All right, everybody, here we are on the show. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, you're subscribing and sharing, right, like good little viewers. Thanks so much. As promised on last week's show, we were talking, and we've been leading up to this. Very excited. We are here in the home of Brian Vollmer, lead singer of HELIX. Brian, thank you so much.
Welcome to Planet HELIX.
Yeah, right on, and what a great place you've got here. I mean, we can't get all the view for our viewers. Maybe we'll take some photos, but lots of paraphernalia around. The outside of the house is incredible.
Thanks.
Brian,
all from the area.
Yeah. What are you doing these days? I mean, obviously HELIX, you're still keeping that Planet HELIX going, but what's currently happening?
Well, we just got back from the Monsters of Rock boat cruise where we played with Cinderella, Tesla, Y&T, Striper, Kicks, all sorts of great bands from the 80s that sold millions of albums. That was a fantastic trip. We got some bar dates coming up. Then we start the festival season. We're already booked at Grizz Fest out in British Columbia. We're playing up in Kitchener for Rock and Rumble, I think it's called, in July. And focusing on the Christmas show, actually, for December.
Right. Tell us a little bit more about that. What's that all about?
Well, we already have 7 dates booked through Southern Ontario's, mostly legions, Masonic temples, venues of that sort. And we have a secret Christmas song that I let you hear that's coming out at the beginning of November that we think that it'll get a lot of airplay to help pump up the tour. For that particular show, the guitars are being played by Sarah Smith from the Joys.
Oh, great. And
also Sean Kelly, who plays for Nelly Furtado, and Gilby Clarke of Guns N' Roses.
So some very exciting things happening for sure. And you mentioned, I just want to jump back there, you you mentioned Kitchener.
Yes.
That's kind of a special place for you because I know, showing off your book here, Give Me an R, and going through there, that was actually where HELIX had their first concert, was in Kitchener, wasn't it?
Yeah, Blueville High School, and that's where I was born. The original band came from Kitchener-Waterloo, and we were booked through Dram Booking Agency, which was down in Waterloo, and that's where we met our manager, William Sipe, as well.
And you were playing with Max Webster that night, is that correct?
Well, Max Webster, that was many years later. That was, I think, December 1980 or something like that.
Right.
And it was with that was our first ever concert gig, and it was with Max Webster and B.B. Gabor. We call him B.B. Gaboring. And then the next night we played London Gardens with Max Webster and Greg Godovich.
Great. Now, obviously, you've done a lot of traveling through the years with HELIX and met a lot of people. I mean, once again, you could go through this whole book, and I'm sure there weren't enough pages for you to even talk about all the people. Is there a couple in particular? I mean, I know it's in the book, but is there one or two in particular that really stood out for you that you really recall? Could you tell a funny story or something?
Lemmy from Motorhead, I talked to him quite a bit when we were on tour. Nice guy. I got along with Lemmy great. Actually, our first tour of the United States started off with Molly Hatchet and Blackfoot, Ricky Medlock, and that tour fell apart after about 3 dates, and then we ended up on another Perfect Day tour with Motorhead, which took us from, I think, Hartford, Connecticut to the First Avenue Club owned by Prince, Purple Rain, in Minneapolis, and it was a very eye-opening experience for us as a band, of first real major tour of the United States, and from that tour we went on to do dates with Heart, Crocus, Wasp, even Greg Kinn, Mitch Ryder, Detroit Wheels, Alvin Lee 10 years after. We played in Baltimore with Meatloaf down Denver at the Rainbow Theater. So a lot of great stars we played with back then.
Now, the members of the band now, currently, are they all, obviously except for one, are they original members? Is this what we're going to, when we're kind of leading up to the Rock and Country Collide tour down at the Mule, are we going to see all the original members there?
Well, they're not the original members. The original members of that lineup, I'm probably the only person left. But they're the lineup that fans would recognize from the 80s. Greg Fritz Heinz on drums, Brent Durner on guitar, and Daryl Gray on bass guitar. And that was our lineup during the 80s when we had the big albums.
And that's great to have them back, because I know, doing some research, that you struggled there for a while. You went through a lot of band member changes, right? So to now to be back to where you were, so to speak, from the 80s, that's got to be exciting for you.
Well, it's a hell of a lot easier getting the guys organized and getting the set on stage. You know, people that have had to suffer and go through all the steps required to gain success, I think they appreciate a lot more than people you just bring in and pay a certain dollar figure to have play for the band. So, you know, there's that commitment, and, you know, they've been there, done it, got the T-shirt. I don't have to sit down and give them a lecture on how, you know, what I expect.
Right. What else are you doing? I mean, you're doing the Helix thing. You're doing some vocal things as well? Is that what
I teach about 40, 50 students a week. I teach bel canto, which is the oldest method of singing in the world. I was taught by Edward Johnson, who taught me for over 30 years. Ed also taught Beverly D'Angelo, taught Andy Kern of Coney Hatch, Gilmore of Triumph, all sorts of people in the music business. And I studied with him for quite a few years, and then I became a teacher myself in about 1988. And I teach people now in the music industry. The girls from Kitty have come to me, and country singers, rock singers, pop singers, shower singers.
Well, there's a few of those out there.
Yeah.
I got some karaoke singers that could probably use some lessons from you too, Brian. Listen, we're going to lead up to, of course, coming up May 5th down at the Stubborn Mule in Sarnia. Rock and Country Collide. We had an interview with Marshall Dane last week, and he's very excited because he loves Helix. He's mentioned in the interview, and he mentioned he's like a kid in a candy store, and he's excited to meet you. But
that's great.
Country and rock on the same stage. That's kind of different, isn't it? I mean, it's normally.
I like the idea because you know, a lot of country fans are really rock fans. They listen to both types of music, so it isn't that far. You know, off the beaten track idea-wise. Myself, I started off listening to country when I first started listening to music.
I think nobody would believe that until you just said that.
The first album I was ever really into was the first Johnny Cash album.
Oh, yeah.
And I still have it upstairs. It's on the Sun label. But I was introduced to music through my grandfather, who listened to Ernest Tubb, Kitty Wells, Buck Owens, Patsy Cline, those type of artists. So country for me isn't really that different. Right.
Well, we're excited to have you down there at the Stubborn Mule. We talked on the phone a few times, and I mentioned a little story here, and I want to bring this up. Being from Sarnia myself, I had asked you, do you remember the Snowbirds Hangar back in Sarnia? You kind of know what I'm leading up to here. Wasn't that kind of a special day on a snowstormy night that you had to get out of the Snowbirds Hangar real quick?
Oh, when my daughter was born while I was down in Sarnia, and we were told, my wife and I at that time, that she wouldn't be giving birth for at least a couple of weeks. And then suddenly I got the call, and I think we were at a party somewhere. So Leo Nebedek, the drummer, and myself piled into the car, and we took off without filling up the car with gas. So we run out of gas up by Lucan on the 23 highway. Oh, wow. And so here we are at 3 o'clock in the morning, half pissed, walking around the houses with trying to get people to give us gasoline so we get to the hospital to see my daughter being born. But we made it.
You did make it in time?
We did make it, yeah.
Phew, eh?
Yeah.
All right. Brian, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
I really appreciate you. And we're gonna be talking to more some Brian. We're gonna get some videos and pictures and autographs, and we're gonna be giving away some of this autographed paraphernalia here on the show. Don't forget, coming up May the 5th, down at the Stubborn Mule, Rock and Country Collide, Third Wave, Whiskey Rain, and of course Marshall Dane and Helix. Brian Vollmer, thank you so much once again.
You're welcome.
Let's go back to the studio. All right, once again, welcome back to the show. Very exciting interview. Brian Vollmer, thank you so much for taking the time out of his very, very busy schedule. We were talking a lot to Brian off camera as well. He shared some more stories and exciting things about his career and some things that are coming up. Now, if you noticed, he mentioned there, coming up a little bit later, November this year, a very special song coming out. He did share it with us, and we were allowed to listen to it, but you're going to have to wait. Tease, tease, tease. Maybe we'll have that announcement later on in the year on the show, but I'm excited to hear it again, and I'm excited for Brian and Helix to put it out there on the airwaves. It's just going to be awesome. Anyway, it's incredible, phenomenal. You know the deal. But anyway, once again, Brian Vollmer, thank you so much for taking the time to allow us into your home and talk to you. Once again, folks, Brian Vollmer, very kind to us to allow us to be there, and even though he was really, really busy to get to some other things, He didn't rush us out the house or anything. He gave us whatever time we needed to do this interview and get some special photos as well. Speaking of special things, Brian Vollmer also took the time to sign some autographs on some of the Rock and Country Collide Tour posters. And the evening of May the 5th, down there, we'll be doing some more interviews with Brian Vollmer and the rest of Helix, Marshall Dane, the rest of the gang that's going to be there. And they'll be autographing, the rest of them will be autographing these posters. And coming up on later shows, we'll show you how you can win a pair of tickets to the concert, as well as we're going to be giving away some of these autographed posters. It's going to be really exciting. Some more announcements also coming up for that evening. But what do you got to do? You got to subscribe and share and tune into the show. All right, well, you know what? It's a really quick show this week because there's just so much happening. I wanted to definitely get in there and show you Brian Vollmer. I was like a kid in a candy store. I was so excited, and I'm just thrilled to have been able to do that interview. Brian, once again, thank you so much. All right, don't forget, if you've got an idea for the show, or you want to be on the show. Here's the thing. I've had some people say to me, well, I've tried to get on your show. Okay, if you send me one email and I don't get back to you, keep sending it to me because I am getting very busy with the show, and I do want to get as many people on here on the show as I can. So if you sent me one and I haven't responded, Facebook me or send me an email to info@davidburrows.ws. Want to get some more of the local talent, even charity events. If you got a special charity event that's coming up and you'd like me to share it here on the show, or you've got a group, or you get the picture. Facebook me, David Burrows. The show with David Burrows is also a page that's on there. Or send me an email to info@davidburrows.ws. It's all the time I got for you this week, but keep watching as we scroll the credits. Some exclusive footage, once again, that you're only going to catch here on the show, the home of Brian Vollmer. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great week and an even better weekend, and we'll see you next time right here on the show. Bye for now.
All right, well, as you can see here, this is the room that was behind us when we did the interview with Brian Vollmer in his home. This is a really cool room. Lots and lots of pictures, well kept. And this gentleman has performed with many, many different people, met many, many different stars and celebrities. And this was just a fantastic room to be standing in. I can't even, it's hard to describe the vibe that was in this room. Now we're going to go downstairs. Yeah, that's Planet Helix. That's what he calls it. I'm going to go downstairs here a little further. I'm going to try not to fall. Yeah, we're making our way. And this room, wow. I mean, this is a rock star's room. There's Sean and Glenn from Whiskey Rain. Brian is sharing a story with them and talking about all the different aspects of the room. And yeah, this was really neat down here, and once again, Brian Vollmer very, very generous to his sharing his time and showing off the home that he has. There's a great big Helix, and you see the Trailer Park Boys in there. Trailer Park Boys, good friends of Brian Vollmer, of course, autographed and everything else. This is some paraphernalia that Brian received from different celebrities. That Barbie doll there, she talks a different language. She talks rock and roll and everything that goes along with it. It was pretty funny. And there's some pins and stamps. Here's one of the original Helix album from Capitol Records. Different guitar collections. Yeah, this was really something else. You get back down this wall here, you're going to see there's some more of the Trailer Park Boys and many, many pictures on the wall. Again, performing. They performed all through Europe, all across the United States as well. And once again, just well kept. Now, remembering that this is over 30 years. It started back in the mid-70s. Of course, becoming very popular in the 80s, especially 1983 when they come out with some big hits. So there you have a little final view, and once again, Brian Vollmer, thank you so much for allowing us into your home down in London, Ontario. 45s. Anybody remember the 45 records? Yep. I tell you, I was downstairs doing this. I was by myself, and I really didn't want to leave this room. Was very excited, but anyway, that's enough of me. Once again, I want to thank you for watching the show and subscribing and sharing. And coming up next week, we're going to have some more exciting interviews and some local events happening around here. Once again, please remember to subscribe and share. Have a great weekend and even better weekend, everybody. Bye for now.